Hello. Welcome along to Adventures in Pop. This is episode 242. My name is Simon Jacobs, as usual, and you're looking fabulous. We've got quite a lot to get through in this episode. I want to pick up, I suppose, a little bit where I left off. I was talking about in the last episode how completely useless ChatGPT was in trying to help make a video for, my next single. In a way, I guess I might have been expecting it to be a bit useless. So it wasn't like the end of the world. It was just interesting that over a very long period of time, it eventually got nowhere. In this episode, I'm sort of coming at AI and ChatGPT in a slightly different way, in being able to do some of the things that certainly was never possible even a year ago. And I want to explain, the benefits and what that's all about. But just before we wrap up, the whole subject of AI creating music and, you are, to what extent are you really the content creator if you've just got AI going out there and making your songs for you, and all you're doing is putting in a little instruction. I'd like a rock song in A minor, blah blah blah. It will do anything you ask it to do, not necessarily particularly well, but it will do it. And the question is, should you be monetized for simply giving an instruction where what AI then does is it sort of trawls the universe and says, okay, well, if you started in this key and you're working in this genre, the chances are you're going to go here, you're going to go here. So it's you're not creating anything. It is using its bank of knowledge to work out where to go with the instructions you've given it. So the reason I'm mentioning this is, last time around I was talking about getting AI to create a video. I think it's okay to ask AI to create a video for me because I'm not essentially a video content creator. That is, it's a bit of a sideline, and it's a lovely sideline. And I'm not trying to, diminish this work I do talking to you because I love it. But it's the music that comes first. And whereas I would maybe make a ChatGPT video, I don't think I'd have really much problem with that. I wouldn't have any qualms. I don't think I would ever want to make a ChatGPT song and to claim it as my own. I mean, I don't mind doing it as a demonstration of how generic and dull it could be, but I don't want to release a single that I've sort of not really written or not really played all the parts to and all that kind of stuff. So that would feel very strange. So I want to mention this one thing. You might know Rick Beato, who is a big YouTuber in the States. He has a number of different kind of channels where he does reactions. He talks about the music that's in the American top 10. He quite often, dissects a song to talk about how it's made up. He has a whole academy where he talks about ear training and music training, music theory training. He's an all-round good guy. And what he did very recently was demonstrate how easy it was to create an entire track from nothing by just providing the right instructions into whatever AI channels he was using. And it wasn't ChatGPT, it was a couple of other different channels, but the principle is exactly the same. And he was at pains to point out that all he'd done was type in an instruction, and this thing had churned out not one but two different versions of the same song, so he could choose which one he liked. He'd created an avatar of a kind of American indie kind of rock guy. It was completely convincing. And the song itself was, a bit boring, but it wasn't terrible. And he was making the point that, essentially, this shouldn't be allowed. And this is an important distinction. YouTube apparently have issued a ruling recently, which I really do agree with, to say that anything that gets uploaded to YouTube that has an AI part to it will not get monetized. And I don't think it's very difficult for them to be able to tell. Now, look, this could change. I was talking to some friends of mine last night about this, and they were saying, yeah, but yeah, but in a year, 2 years, 5 years time, will you be able to even know that you used AI or didn't use AI? But for the time being, it is quite possible, quite easy to determine whether you did or didn't use it. And YouTube is doing the right thing by saying you can use it, you can post videos, but you are not being monetized. And I think that's good. Spotify, on the other hand, are not doing anything. And that is really bad. So you might have heard about this fake band called Velvet Sundown. They released, I mean, straight away it was a bit odd. They released 2 albums in the space of a few days. Because if you're an AI, you can do that, can't you? If you're a band, you probably can't do that. And the point here is that Spotify should also be refusing to monetize anything that gets put up on its platform that comes from AI. I'd be very pleased if they did that. They don't seem to be bothered. I think that's terrible, actually. But then, am I surprised by Spotify? Probably not. So, YouTube, well done. Spotify, geez. Which brings me on to what I just want to talk about briefly now, because this is, it kind of touches on the same thing, but this is where I think you can use the latest technology to do something that is totally legit and actually it's wonderful. So I'm talking about Logic's updated. They've had this for a little while, but they've updated. They've made it better. This stem splitter thing from Logic. Now, look, it can be used to nefarious ends. You could take a well-known song, you could split all its bits out, and you could use bits of it. If you do that, you've got to do it legally. It makes sampling incredibly easy because you can just pull out anything. You can pull out, a drum pattern. You can pull out a bit of vocal, the piano part, the bass part, whatever you like. But what I did and what I have been working on a little bit recently with one of my collaborators, Johnny Rothman of Rothman and Jacobs, what I did, and I want to share this with you, is I took a very old song of ours. So, there's no plagiarism involved. This is one of our songs, but it's seriously old. This is a song called Swept Away. It's got a bit of a jazz kind of feel to it. I mean, I'm not even sure if we quite knew what jazz was then. I found it. I found the words of this in an old songbook, and it was dated as well. Sometimes we remembered, sometimes we didn't remember to date these things. This was a song written in October 1987, 38 years ago. So I recognise the fact that makes me feel very old and that some of you weren't even born then, but bear with me, okay? So this is a song that was written in 1987. I think it was recorded 10 years later, probably during the 90s, when we were using our friend Eddie's studio because we didn't have the means to do all this recording stuff at home, because people didn't unless you were a serious, sound engineer, and it cost a lot of money. So we took the song Swept Away into the studio, we recorded it, it came out okay, it never went anywhere. I think Johnny might have forgotten about it altogether. I didn't forget about it, only because I really, really, really liked it. Now, what Logic allows us now to do is to dig out your old, WAV file or MP3. You don't have to have the original Logic program. We found the track. We got the track sitting somewhere. Pop it onto a new program, apply the stem splitter to it, and the stem splitter is so interesting because it splits it now into 6 parts. I just want to tell you what those 6 parts are. It will split it into vocals, drums, bass, guitar, piano, and other. So if you've done an orchestration, if you've got a brass part, it'll all get captured in other. So it separates those things out to a really, good quality effect. Once you separate them all out, well, you can have fun. What you can start doing is shifting the volumes around because inevitably, things have changed since 1995. There is a tendency for vocals to be louder. There's a tendency for rhythms to be louder. There's a tendency for other things to be a bit more submerged. If you're not happy that the vocal you put down 30 something years ago is any good, you can do the vocal again. I did that this afternoon. I'm not saying it's better, but I was just excited to try. The song didn't really have any harmonies. I can't I can't listen to a song of ours, of mine, with no harmonies. Are you crazy? So I had to put some harmonies down. Then I thought, oh, there's a beautiful string part here. That needs to be enhanced. Let's do that. I gave the drums a bit of a kick. But what I'm saying here is you can revitalize a song of your own. You're not getting in anybody's way in terms of, treading over copyright issues or anything like that. It's your own blooming work. All you're doing is you're able to take something from ancient history and by splitting up all the different parts of your track, by taking it apart to these 6 different stems, what it means is you've got the opportunity to enhance each one with some of today's technology, as well as sing it or re-record bits if you want to. And you can really make it sound one hell of a lot better in the space of an hour and a half. I mean, honestly. So I really recommend this. I mean, I know this could be used to nefarious means, but if you've got old tracks that could be improved, then bloomin' heck, this is a fabulous way of doing it, and it's so simple. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pass you over to me just to take you through a little bit of what we've got on the screen, what I did, and just to show you kind of what it looks like. And then I'm going to play you this. I'm going to play you a little bit of how it was when it was first recorded 30 years ago and compared to what we've got now. So stand by, I'm passing over to me, and I'm going to take you through a little bit more about the track, and I'll talk to you a bit later. Bye. Okay, so look, the top line there in the white and blue, that is the original recording of this song called Swept Away, and I want to play you a little bit of how that sounds right now. Don't ask me to kiss you. There's the jazzy kind of undertone. Don't ask me to stay. Perhaps I'm gonna miss you. I smile and turn away. Okay, so you get the feel of, what that's like, how it sounds. Okay, so when you ask through this Logic program to split the stems, what you'll end up with is that will get muted, your original recording, and you get this rather nice, gradation of color there from green down to blue. Those are my 6 stems, and if you can see, if I can get that focused, as I said before, it says vocal, drums, bass guitar, piano, and then other. Now, so what I've done already is enhanced some of those tracks with just, normal plugins, nothing crazy, I've got to say. And then, because of the kind of person I am, I really wanted to do more vocals. I've got a lead vocal here, a harmony coming in here, and then a second harmony, I should say, a third vocal line coming in here. So let's hear it without the vocal that it came with, but with the new vocals that have been added on. And let's see how that sounds just at the beginning here. Don't ask me to kiss you. Don't ask me to stay. Perhaps I'm gonna miss you. I'll smile and turn away.
People say I'm crazy.
If you think, oh, right, maybe the piano should come up a bit louder.
A fool is what I am. Don't you know they're lying? You hurt me if you can.
So this way of using AI through Logic's really very good stem separation process, what a great way to go back and breathe life into some old tracks and maybe even release them. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Swept Away. I mean, I've done this more as a labour of love because I just love the song and I wanted to see what I could do with it. Who knows? I'm going to play you the track and I'll give you the whole song, and listen out particularly for the big sort of crescendos of strings that happens in, I think, the second chorus and the third chorus. Oh, it's lovely. So Swept Away, it's yours to enjoy. Have a fabulous week and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Don't ask me to kiss you. Don't ask me to stay. Perhaps I'm gonna miss you. I'll smile and turn away. And people say I'm crazy. A fool is what I am. Don't you know they're lying? You hurt me if you can. Playing with my soul, so easy to control. Swept away like the sea on the sand. There were two of us in love. Now I'm a lonely man. Swept away in the heat of the night. There were two of us in love. Now I'm alone again tonight. Don't ask me to trust you. Don't ask me to believe. My mistake was to love you. So easy to deceive. Swept away like the sea on the sand. There were two of us in love. Now I'm a lonely man. Swept away in the heat of the night. There were two of us in love. Now I'm alone again tonight. Playing with my soul, so easy to control. There were two of us in love. Now I'm a lonely man. Swept away in the heat of the night. There were two of us in love. Now I'm alone again tonight.